Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Last June, I packed up my bags and headed back to a golden state of California for one of the most breathtaking adventures I've ever experienced, Sequoia National Park. I've been dreaming about this trip for a long time, and let me tell you, it did not disappoint. Right as we entered, we passed by the iconic Tunnel Rock, a beloved Sequoia landmark. From there, we made our way to park's one of the most legendary hikes, a Moro Rock trail, and honestly, it blew me away. It is a giant granite dome, which is over 2000 meters above sea level. The trail to the top is this incredible quarter-mile staircase, which is around 350 steps. The path is well maintained, and the views you get along the way make every single step completely worth it. What's really fascinating is that Moro Rock is actually a type of formation called an exfoliation dome. Basically, over millions of years, layers of granite have slowly peeled away like a skin of an onion due to pressure and weathering, leaving behind the smooth, rounded summit. So you're not walking on the top of the rock itself only, you're walking on top of millions of years of geological history. As you hike higher and higher, the landscape starts to open up around you in the most dramatic way. And then you reach the summit, and I generally had to stop to just take a breath. Not because I was tired, but because what stretched out in front of me was one of the most stunning panoramas I've ever seen in my life. The hike itself is short. Most people complete the round trip in about 30 to 45 minutes, but I would encourage you to slow down, stop at the viewpoints along the way, and just soak it all in. I spent a good chunk of time at the top just staring out at these mountains. Our very next stop was a tunnel log, an absolutely enormous fallen giant sequoia tree that you drive your car straight through. It came down naturally back in 1937, and the Park Service carved a tunnel right through at the base of the trunk, but it's just enough to fit a regular car. A bigger truck or an RV, they can use the bypass beside. From Tunnel Log, we made our way into what's truly the heart and soul of Sequoia National Park, the giant forest. It is the largest grove of giant sequoias in the entire world. It covers about 2,000 acres and it's home to over 8,000 giant sequoias. General Sherman is the largest living thing on Earth by volume. It's not the tallest tree, not the widest, but in terms of sheer mass, nothing on this planet comes close. It has 84 meters height and 31 meters of base circumference. What gets really interesting is that General Sherman is estimated to be between 2,100 and 2,700 years old. Over 2,000 years old. And here's a part that genuinely shocked me. General Sherman is still growing right now, today. Why are these trees so huge, and how on earth they do live for thousands of years? Firstly, giant sequoias only naturally exist in a very narrow elevation band, roughly between 5,000 and 7,000 feet above sea level, on the western slopes of the Sierra Nevada. This is the sweet spot where they get the heavy winter snowfall they need for water, long warm summers, for growth, and just right soil conditions. There are only about 73 natural groves of giant sequoias in existence. All of them in California, all of them in this relatively small geographic corridor. You won't find them anywhere else naturally growing. The next thing is water. A mature giant sequoia can absorb and transpire up to 3,000 liters of water every single day. The deep Sierra Nevada snow peak, which melts slowly throughout the spring and summer, gives these trees a reliable, steady supply of moisture that feeds their extraordinary growth year after year. And the last thing is their bark. Giant sequoia's bark is one of nature's most remarkable engineering achievements. It can grow up to 1 meter of thickness on mature trees. It contains almost no resin, which makes it highly fire resistant. It's loaded with tannins and natural compounds that makes it extraordinarily resistant to insects, fungi and diseases. Finally, its genetics. These trees have simply evolved over millions of years to grow big and grow old. Their ancestors date back to the age of the dinosaurs. Giant sequoias' biology is optimized for longevity. They don't die for old age in any conventional sense. A healthy giant sequoia will just keep growing. The ones that fall typically do because of their poor routing systems, which are surprisingly shallow, spreading wide rather than deep. From the giant forest, we made our way over to one of the most rewarding and iconic walks in the entire park, the General Tree Trail. And this loop absolutely delivered from the start to finish. Every single stop along this trail gave us something different, something special, and something unforgettable. The first thing that caught our attention was Robert E. Lee Tree. After seeing General Sherman, almost anything would seem modest by comparison. However, it's still one of the largest trees in the world. It's enormous, 77 meters tall, ancient and breathtaking. After the fallen monarch, we made our way along the trail to the California tree and then to General Grant. General Grant is the second largest tree in the entire world by volume, second only to General Sherman. It stands at 81.5 meters tall and its base circumference is an absolutely staggering 32.5 meters, which actually makes its base even wider than General Sherman's. In 1926, President Calvin Coolidge officially declared General Grant Tree the nation's Christmas tree. And every year, second Sunday of December, the park holds a Christmas celebrations at the base of the tree. Big Stump Grove was our next stop, and the most famous one, the Mark Twain stump, was cut down in 1891. It's also a place of hope, because the devastation that happened here was a major catalyst for the conservation movement in California. The sight of these fallen giants, the scale of what was being destroyed, helped build the public and political will to protect what remained. Sequoia National Park was established in 1890, just 1 year before the Mark Twain's tree was cut down. Next morning, we drove in along the Kings Canyon Scenic Byway. The canyon itself is one of the deepest canyons in the entire US, deeper than a Grand Canyon at certain points. Our first stop was Roaring River Falls, and the name absolutely delivers on its promise. It's short, but a beautiful hike, but what awaits you at the end is a waterfall of real drama and power. The incredible variety of plant life along the riverbanks also deserves more attention. Each of these plants says a story about this place. How the manzanita speaks about the fire history of the canyon, how the California lilac is quietly enriching the soil, how the stubborn little oak is making its life among the rocks, and how the great ponderosa shades and shelters it all. Kings Canyon covers 460,000 acres. The Kings River is considered one of the finest large trout fisheries in the state of California. It's a home to over 1,200 species of vegetation, with a wildlife including black bears, mule deer, mountain lions, and lynx. Just a little further down the road, we stumbled upon what ended up being one of my personal favorite moments of the Kings Canyon, Grizzly Falls. Our next stop was something a little different from anything else we did on this trip, a guided tour of Boyden Cavern. It's a marble cave carved out of millions of years by Kings River. The entrance is tucked into the cliff face, almost hidden, so you wouldn't necessarily know if it was there as you drive past. We have learned about the stalactites and stalagmites, and the cave is also home to a colony of bats. Next, we made our way through the forest and we stopped by Hammy Lake. The lake exists thanks to a construction of world's first concrete reinforced multiple arch dam in 1908. And it's also a home to a Hammy Lake Christian summer camps since 1946. We saved our last stop for Project Survival's Cat Heaven, founded in 1993.
So most of our cats are actually coming from different breeding facilities or zoos. They can't always house all of the cats they have at once. When zoos change up exhibits, they can't keep everything they had usually.
That is Samba. She's a sister. Her name is Rose. She's probably laying behind the rock. These girls are jaguars. This is Makina. She has a companion. His name's Brafu. He's up there. You can't really see him very well.
And that wraps up our incredible few days exploring Sequoia and Kings Canyon National Parks. Honestly, one of the most breathtaking trips to experience. From the ancient giants of the giant forest to the dramatic depths of Kings Canyon. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. It really does mean the world. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.